Sources of information can be classified into two broad categories, primary and secondary. Primary sources are original works that have not been filtered through interpretation or evaluation by a second party. They can be first-hand accounts created by participants or eyewitnesses to events, or original works of art, both written and visual. They may have been created at the time of the event or at a later date. Examples of primary sources include first-hand information or original objects such as autobiographies, diaries, works of art, photos, letters, historical records and documents, and interviews. Secondary sources are a step removed from the original work or event and provide analysis and interpretation of primary sources. Examples of secondary sources include biographies, critical analyses, literary criticism, textbooks, and articles or books written by non-participants. Bear in mind that you can't always determine if something is primary or secondary just because the type of publication it is found in. The distinction between types of sources can get tricky because a secondary source may also be a primary source. For example, articles in newspapers and magazines are usually considered secondary sources. However, if a story in a newspaper about the Syrian conflict is an eyewitness account, that would be a primary source. But if the reporter includes additional materials he or she has gathered through interviews or other investigations, the article would be a secondary source. Here's another example. An interview in the Rolling Stone with Jay-Z would be a primary source, but a review of the latest Jay-Z album would be a secondary source. If you are ever confused about whether a source is primary or secondary, ask your instructor or a librarian for help. You are welcome to visit or contact the library for help finding primary and secondary sources to write a paper or complete a project.